We're going to start out today with freshman LuCye Patterson, who had an incredible defensive stand in the second half on one of Indiana State's top players. And we'll go straight to questions for LuCye.
Yeah, LuCye, I guess just major thing here is last week at UNI, you guys win the first one and then lose the second one back-to-back games. This time around, you guys managed to hold on, get both wins, sweep the series. Just how important was that? Maybe lessons learned last week you were able to use this week?
Man, just after we lost, I think it was Monday or Sunday, one of the two, and the locker room was just, kind of like down. So, we was ready to come back and get them 2 dubs. We was just ready to get back on the court. That was a long bus ride home, and we was just like, it was kind of, we was just ready.
Early in the first half, or probably about midway when you guys went on that 10-0 run, you had a couple defensive stops that helped spark that. How do you feel you're adjusting to Ford's style of basketball so far?
Well, in high school, my dad was really all about, defense. So, he kind of played defense how my high school did. So, I was kind of, already in sync with the defensive end. But really, it's, if you don't play no defense before, you ain't going to play. So,
speaking of adjustments, your first taste of Valley play so far, it's pretty unique compared to a lot of the other conferences in the area, just the level of mid-major kind of talent that there is. Just what's been your impression so far 4 games in?
Man, this conference is really tough. When they was telling me before I came here, they was talking about everybody play D, everybody, sits down, everybody is locked in, it's different. And they gonna scout you and all that. So especially this conference right here I think it's one of the best conferences in the nation, especially for mid majors. To be honest.
Any other questions for LuCye? All right, buddy. Great job in the second half, man. Great job.
Thank you.
All right, we'll bring in Isiaih Mosley next before we start his accolades. Another career high 29 for Isiaih tonight. And he became the first Bear since 95 to score 5 straight 20-point games. I know he doesn't like accolades, but just want to add that side note to his achievements tonight. And we'll go straight into questions for Isiaih.
Yeah, Isiaih, if you don't like accolades still, that's an impressive accomplishment. You can give credit to your team if you want. I'm sure you will, but just what does it mean to see how far you've grown, even just in the statistical category, but well beyond that, offense and defense from last year when you did pretty well as a rookie to this year, you're leading the Valley in scoring?
It means a lot. It's just I'm happy that all my work is finally starting to show and people are finally starting to recognize all the hard work I've been putting in, all the late nights, early mornings. So I give a lot up to Coach Gipp also. He spends a lot of time in there with me and just working me out, making sure I'm polished. And I give a lot of respect to my teammates. They're always finding me, and even when things aren't going well, maybe the first half, maybe the second half, they're always trying to bring me up and just tell me to keep going, that they need me. So I give a lot of credit to my coaches and my teammates.
Today's game was a little bit closer than yesterday's game. What was Indiana State doing better than maybe what they were yesterday?
I just said they were more aggressive. They were more aggressive, and they just – it's always going to be hard to beat a team twice. If you beat them one time, it's like it's an open gym. It's like run it back. So it's always going to be hard to beat that team twice, but I think they just played really well together tonight.
Isiaih, it really looked like one of the things Indiana State wanted to do was take away the inside game. Yesterday you guys scored 44 points in the paint. Today it was 24 points. Did you really feel like you had to do a lot of damage from the perimeter?
I didn't. I felt like that we just keep pounding it. They're trying to take it away, but I just feel like we're so than a lot of these teams, and we got so many pieces and we move together that it's easy to get into the lane because we just work so well off each other.
You talked about the difficulty with beating team twice. Obviously, one of the things that's unique about this year is, normally you would play each conference opponent 2 times, but there'd be a little bit of a lag between the 2 meetings. Does it change the way you guys prepare when you have to play them again twice within 24 hours?
It does kind of change the way that we have to prepare. We just have to know that next day, win or lose, that we got to wake up and be ready to to get on the court the next day. We got to make sure our bodies are right. We got to make sure that we're locked in the film room and that everyone's just, piecing together and that we're just sticking together each and every day.
Obviously, it's easy to say that. It's harder to actually execute it. What kind of lessons maybe did you learn last week from winning the first at UNI and then following it up with a completely different game to now this week getting the win in game 1? And when Indiana State was pushing back in game 2, you guys were able to hold strong and hold out for another win.
Lesson that I think I learned and I think kind of goes for the whole team is that even if we win, we got to come into a film session and go onto the court and be locked in. Like we never played them before. Last game, I think we had a little slippage of that. So I think this game we were super locked in and we got it done. So
Gage ran into some foul trouble kind of early in the second half, and you guys had to run without him for a while. What do you think you and your team is learning kind of about how to play without him on the floor?
I just think we're learning how to just moving with the ball, keep moving without the ball. We're just learning how to, play off each other. We put Gage a lot, which he's a big piece to this team. But when he's out, we really learn how to play off each other. And I think that playing 4 guards is going to be really good for us at times.
For you, I'm curious. I mean, you think back to last year versus this year, are you already seeing defenses kind of guard you a bit more, put more guys on you? I mean, to go from last year, the minutes were a bit more limited. Now, that title of Valley leading scorer, I'm sure, has a lot of other teams putting you at the top of their scouting reports.
Yes, sir. And for me, I feel like that's something that is going to be a change for me, but it's going to be easy for me to get through it because I always go to the film room. I watch film a lot. So when these teams are playing, I'm watching film on how they guard people and stuff like that. So I feel like I'm always going to be ready for the best.
All right. Congrats, Zay, on a great game, buddy.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Isaiah.
All right, Coach Ford joins us now. Coach, congratulations on a huge win and the Valley grind, man. What can you say about it?
Thanks, Rick. Absolutely. I mean, it's just difficult what we're doing here, this back-to-back. It's just a grind on your guys. It's a grind on your preparation, on your adjustments. And as you can see, it's not always going to be pretty, but we're very pleased with the end result.
Coach, you said yesterday that it would be a big sign of growth for your team if you were able to see them come out 24 hours later and get another win against the same team that you weren't able to do last week against UNI. So now, having seen it, you agree with that? You think this was a big sign of growth for your Bears?
Oh, absolutely. We grew today. I got to be honest, as I'm sitting over there, I'm thinking, man, it's going to take a lot to pull this one out. I mean, we never had a flow on offense. Outside of Mosley, I thought we were stuck in the water, man, with no life saver or anything. So I thought this was really gutsy. I thought a couple 50-50 balls by Gage, a big shot by Luka Patterson. He was phenomenal. We made our free throws. And, in the second half, we took better care of the basketball. The first half, we had 11 turnovers. We ended with 17. That's the most disappointing thing of this series is the fact that we allowed their pressure to turn us over. But, well, it's hard to beat somebody twice in the same year, and we're just fortunate to do it.
You mentioned Patterson having a big game. He did some things defensively. In your eyes, what did he do well today?
Well, he's always what we call assignment correct, meaning he does what he's supposed to do in regards to the scouting report. He missed a box out late, and before I could even say it, he already knew he did. Played with confidence on offense. He hadn't shot the 3 great. We know he's a good shooter. And he stepped up and made that one from the right wing. The guy dared him to shoot it. He just shot it right in, made his free throws. I don't know if he had a turnover at all, one turnover, but he just plays the game, like he belongs. I mean, he just, he doesn't look like a freshman. He's got great body. He's got great confidence. He's a son of a coach, so he knows what he's doing. And he just gives us great, valuable minutes. He was a plus 12 today. And after watching last night's game, one of our biggest mistakes yesterday was not playing him more because he was really good for us.
Coach, it really looked like early on you wanted to run that offense through Gage, and it seemed like one of the adjustments maybe that Indiana State had made was to try to take him away. Can you talk about that and then just also speak to, Isaiah's day today?
Yeah, I mean, I think their biggest adjustment was they started sagging in, right? And not allowing us to get it in there. And we'll have to adjust to that. And that's really the first time through scouting report that we've seen that, and we'll adjust accordingly. But that's part of a conference race, right? People start doing things and these back-to-backs, and you're trying to figure out a way. And we're just fortunate to have Mosley. Someone asked me yesterday, what's it like to have Isiaih Mosley? I mean, it's like holding the lottery ticket in your pocket, right? The winning lottery ticket. I mean, the guy's he's just a scorer. And tonight it was a free throw line, and the ball's got to move more. But anytime we're stuck, we're gonna run something for him. And he did a great job trying to find people late in the game too when their defense collapsed on him. We just missed a couple shots. Jamonte Black rattled out a couple threes that really could have iced it.
Coach, I feel like by the end of the season, you're going to run out of ways to describe how great it is to have Mosley. But I mean, you talked about it before, just in the midst of a time in which you're fighting for every single point, to have a guy in midst that go for a new career high at 29, be the first guy in the school history to get 20 points in 5 straight games since 95. Just, I mean, this is a special kid, and it's clear there's a lot of growth from last year to now.
Yeah, I mean, we've always known he was a special player. I mean, he was Mr. Basketball in our state. As a freshman, he had to learn the intensity part, but every time we put him in, he scored. Like if he played like 8 minutes, he's at like 6 points as a freshman. And he had a really good offseason. He's really taking care of his body. He's in the gym all the time. He's just a bona fide scorer. I don't know. He's a tough guard because now he's learning how to score with his back to the basket. He's better in transition now that he's in great shape. And he makes all his free throws. He just has every attribute of a scorer. I mean, literally every single attribute. He can handle the ball. We always joke, you look at his shot chart, everything's on the right. Well, it doesn't matter. He's going right, and you still can't stop him. So, we're fortunate to have him. I mean, and when our offense is moving and clicking and the ball's moving and Gage is facilitating and Jamonte and Ritter and Keaton are spacing the floor and whoever else, he's really hard to guard. But today he showed that he can do it even when those things aren't clicking.
Mosley had that big game today, and then when Gage ran into foul trouble and you had to sit him down for a while, what do you think your offense needs to do better other than just giving the ball to Isiaih?
Right. Well, that's a great question. And so what we decided to do today was we went with an all hybrid lineup, and honestly, we haven't practiced it. And we tried to facilitate it through Ritter, who in the preseason we practiced that some, but obviously they weren't letting him catch. And then we went with Mosley in there a little bit. But yeah, I mean, we'll have to readjust some things. We've got a whole nother package that we use sometimes, but they're so aggressive defensively that we didn't know if we would take better care of the ball or not by going to that. So really what we tried to do is not turn the thing over, right? Get it on the rim, and hopefully somebody offensive rebounded or we get fouled and just valley grind that thing out. I mean, that's what we did today. But we'll learn from this game, and we'll have to sharpen up some of our offensive execution. But man, I'm just proud that guys found a way to win, because I didn't know. It felt like we were down forever, and never could get any separation. That team was desperate. I mean, they really needed a win, and we were fortunate enough to make just a few more plays and a few more baskets and a few more free throws.
Coach, you take the show on the road next, back to another back-to-back. I mean, it's one thing to win the back-to-backs against, a team at home. I imagine it's a whole nother animal to do it, cooped up in a hotel, nowhere to go on the road. Just kind of, how does the mindset change now looking ahead to Valpo?
So in the past, I would always say, the road is this, the road is that. We're telling our team this year, there's no difference. I mean, we're going to have to go out there. We're going to have to defend them. Our offense is going to have to move better. We have to make our layups and free throws, grab our 50-50 balls. I do think rest is big this week, and I do think getting into our bench earlier in game one is going to help us. And we've played guys extended minutes in both these series in game one with fairly big leads, right? And it's just a fear of the valley. I mean, as a coach, right? I mean, every win is just priceless. But we're a little more confidence earlier in games in our bench because we've been a little stuck in the mud the back 9 game both weekends.
All right, Coach, congratulations again. Nice win tonight.
Thank you. See you guys.